a quick video to touch on yet another topic when it comes to inflation. I have other videos in this series. You can watch them by following these links right here. Topic of today is downsizing. Now, people are sometimes referring to that as shrinkflation. Now, of course, inflation is everywhere and anywhere in the news right now. It's at 13-year highs. The Fed's getting involved. The IMF's getting involved. It seems like things are going through the roof. And there's explanations right and left for what's going on. Is it transitory? Is it permanent? We don't know what's going to happen here. But when it comes to the drivers of it, a lot of it is coming from the producer side, right? The cost of raw goods are just getting more and more expensive. They, of course, have to pass that along to consumers. But in reality, they would kind of not like to do that because consumers are sensitive to prices. Now, turns out in reality, what they really don't want is for you to notice it. And that's where shrinkflation comes in. And this is the concept where, yes, we have a bottle of whatever, let's call it beer, let's call it soda, and it's $5, right? And that's, so nothing's changed, right? There's no inflation there, but if you look at the label, you're going to see that the size has been downsized. It has shrunk down from 2 liters to 1.75 liters. So kind of on a per ounce or per milliliter basis, this is a more expensive item. That's inflation. And then this is everywhere. We see that in cereal all the time. We see that in Pringles potato chips here. A lot of times it's hidden, right? It looks from the outside like it's the same size, but if you look on the inside, there's more air involved here. It's notorious in candy bars and such things where you just see this constantly happening there. And this is a picture of me and my Whopper yesterday that I had for lunch. It didn't quite fill me up like it normally does. Now, Edgar Dworsky is on top of this. He has been monitoring this for years and years. He has a website called the mouse print, or the kind of the tiny print you need to read to keep track of this, but you can check out his website. He is on top of it. And the BLS, who's in charge of keeping track of inflation, they also indicate that they are on top of this. They're not falling for this. So they build in to the inflation figures any kind of shrinkflation, any kind of downsizing that takes place. Now, keep in mind, they do have a hedonic adjustment. So what that means is even though things are getting more expensive, if there is a quality improvement, then they basically don't count that inflation. So you look at, certainly the Honda Accord and the Mustang of 1990 compared to 2020, they're different cars. So they're saying, look, there's no inflation there, even though cars have gone from, $5,000 to $25,000, that kind of a thing. There's no inflation there because the quality has improved. But keep in mind here, this is for any kind of improvement, whether or not the customers want it, demand it, etc. They will build this in there, and they never go backwards, right? So we've seen, the plane tickets, you've lost an inch, and then they lost another inch. It's just, and we've got TSA, so it costs more time. They never go backwards. It's only making adjustments in a hedonic fashion that lower the inflation rate. It never goes backwards the other way. So keep that in mind. And in terms of thinking about inflation, but shrinkflation is a very real thing out there that you should be aware of. That's it for today. Happy trading. I just want you to think about that. I'm Brian Kozlowski. Thank you so much.